Joining us now, former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi and criminal defense attorney Mark Geragos. Good to have you both. Pam, let's get your take on this release. What does it mean to you?
Well, it's trickled out, Sean. It's trickling out. First of all, it should have come out a long time ago. Professor Dershowitz wanted it out. And by the way, he is one of the best attorneys in this country. I know him. I know his wife. That's a great family, and they've been dragged through hell on this. I want to know why AG Garland and the Justice Department are so quiet on this tonight. You know, they're out there labeling parents domestic terrorists, yet they're saying nothing about this. And these documents were so slow to come out. Human trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar business in this country, and Jeffrey Epstein is dead, and Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for 20 years where she belongs. And if people in that report are still fighting to keep their names private, Sean, they have no legal basis to do so unless they're a child, a victim, or a cooperating defendant by some chance against some potential case against Ghislaine Maxwell. And I think Mark Geragos, as a great criminal defense attorney, will back that up as well.
You know, Mark, let me go to you. There are a lot of people that Professor Dershowitz has represented that frankly, I never liked and really don't understand why he would take on these high-profile cases. You're just like Professor Dershowitz. You've taken on a lot of high-profile cases, and I know you've paid a pretty dear price for representing people with the belief that everybody has a right to a defense, and you paid a price for that. What is your take on tonight?
You know, my father, who was my hero and was a former prosecutor, I remember going to him over 20 years ago when I was asked to represent Scott Peterson. And, you know, it was one of those things where he was the most hated man in the world. And he said, if you're not going to take this case because you're worried about your reputation, then why do you do what you do? Which I kind of live by. And I think I've talked with Alan over the years, and we've represented many of the same people and talked about kind of the thankless job that it is. It's been rewarding for both of us intellectually and financially, but at the same time, you got to suffer the slings and arrows. And I will tell you that it's easy to make accusations. It's a lot tougher when you're Alan trying to defend yourself against the allegations. And watching him and the pain he's gone through for the last couple of years, and I've talked to him on more than one occasion about the toll that it's taken on him. I kind of chuckled to myself when he was talking about losing all the friends because he represented Trump. I've said some of the things, the most hateful comments I've ever gotten is when I represented Republican political fundraisers. So I feel his pain, and probably not to the level exponentially that he has because of Trump. But it's a function of this system. If you believe in the Constitution, if you believe in an adversarial system, then you need somebody to do it, not just walk through the motions, somebody who will fight zealously. I've never met a client yet who came to my office and said, I just want somebody to be window dressing and sit by here and not really put up a defense. You want somebody who's going to fight for you. And I've had countless clients that have been innocent, and we've proven it.
What about Bill Clinton? How does he factor into this when we know he's a liar? We know the issue of Monica Lewinsky. I've got to believe that a lot of Americans suspect there might be some truth to this, especially with the number of times he was on the plane, which I believe contradicted his public statement, if I recall correctly. Pam.
Well, Sean,
yeah, and Sean, we know one of the witnesses.
About this.
Hang on, Pam first. Pam?
And, well, we know he was on the plane, not only on the plane a couple times, multiple times. He traveled internationally with Jeffrey Epstein. And he was on the plane called the Lolita Express because it supposedly had a bed in there where Jeffrey Epstein had young girls. He has been a friend of his, a continuing friend of his for years and years. Contrast that with Donald Trump, who hasn't spoken to him in many years, over a decade, after he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago for bad behavior. So that's the difference there. And I think Americans see the two-tier justice system. But, you know, we don't know. They're saying Clinton has not been to his private island, but he has traveled all over the world with Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, over time, let's see. And if the judge does have other information that would add context and texture to a list, I do believe the judge has an obligation to release it, especially because people's names and reputation are in play here.
Yes.
Pam, thank you. Mark Geragos, thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.